Hello, this is Gen83, and it's another episode of Pierre's Path to Glory, the F1 2016 Toro Rosso career mode, driving as Pierre Gasly. And it's the penultimate race of the season, and the battle for second is on between myself and Daniel Ricciardo. So let's get into practice, and it is not going well at the minute, but we've got the green score already in the bank in track acclimatization test. And it looks like, even though he failed both the last two corners, but we're going to get a green score anyway, which is good enough. And I don't bother going for the purple score, but I'm qualifying sim, and I'm well up on the delta, almost a second up, just because in the wet it's so much easier to get up on the delta compared to the dry. As the delta are pretty broken when it's wet, to be honest, but we'll gloss over that and get the purple score quite easily and get the 50 resource points for that. And this is in qualifying now. It's intermediate conditions rather than the wet conditions done in practice, and coming up through the flat final few corners, and Lewis Hamilton is currently fastest, but it's going to be very close between that time, and I just about beat it by about half a tenth of a second, I think. But now onto the outlap for the second run, and not long left in the session. I'm going on, and Raikkonen absolutely parked it, and that is unfortunately no time to get another run in. So I'm down to fifth on the grid. Rosberg on pole for the two Red Bulls, and Lewis Hamilton. Myself in fifth, Alonso with a strong showing in sixth for McLaren, and two Ferraris, Massa and Sainz makes out the top 10. And the Saubers are well off the pace in the bottom of the grid once again. But let's get into the race.
As surely as the sun rises in the morning, the Brazilian Grand Prix packs out the grandstands and creates incredible drama. Title deciders, heartbreak, triumph and home glory. All these and more can be found in abundance here at the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache.
So race strategy then, it looks like a two-stop race, medium, hard, soft, and anyone can choose what tyres they want to start on because it was wet in qualifying, of course. So it's going to be a dry race throughout, and let's get into the 5 red lights for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Lights out the way we go, and it's a bad start initially compared to Hamilton alongside me. Alonso gets a good one on the soft tyres behind, but the top 4 are on hards, I believe, so I'm going to lunge it around the outside of Lewis Hamilton. The Red Bulls are going wheel to wheel, side by side through the centre S's, and they slow each other up so much. We're going to look around the outside, then quite a lot of contact with Max Verstappen, and Ricciardo has managed to retain second for now. Rosberg has absolutely run away. I'm alongside Max Verstappen with massive overspeed, and it looks like I'm going to be able to lunge it up the inside of Ricciardo as well. But it looks like the move is not going to come off, so Ricciardo's got a better line through turn 4, and we have to hold second for now, but we've still got the better pace. We need to go defensive into turn 5, I think this is, but unfortunately the move is not to be, as I'm run onto the curb by Daniel Ricciardo, and third place for the time being is all I can hope for. But now onto lap 2, and right through the same section of the track, I have the more pace than Daniel Ricciardo. I'm a medium, he's on hard, so I should have the pace at this point. And now coming down to turn 6, the long left-hander, I've forced the nose at the inside of Ricciardo, makes him go wide. Like, don't really give him a choice there, but take second place from him. So that is a very nice start in 2 laps to get from 5th up to 2nd. And now we can start chasing down Nico Rosberg. Let's have a look at replay at the start. And it was a good start initially from the top 4, and Alonso alongside me. I get the worst start of anyone, I think. But then managed to late break, go right around the outside of Hamilton. The Red Bull side drove up so much, I'm looking right around the outside, and I cut inside quite a lot and hit the side of Max Verstappen. I'm surprised there was no damage for anyone there. And yeah, the force Verstappen onto the inside of the track, and then we have the position. I'll go for a massive lunge, you can see from that replay camera, on Ricciardo, which doesn't actually come off, but yeah, Ricciardo holds second, and I get third until the end of lap 2, when I'm actually overtake Ricciardo for second place anyway. So here's Verstappen's point of view. You can just see how much, how aggressive my move was in turn 3. You can see he gets a better start compared to his teammate Ricciardo, and it's wheel to wheel through the centre S's, and this is always going badly. He forces Ricciardo off the track quite aggressively there, but then you can just see around the outside I come in, swipe him, and I'm surprised I didn't get any damage from that, or any substantial damage. But and then you can just see my overspeed as I've got the Slipstream Ricciardo to help me, and then the lunge I go for, which doesn't actually come off in the end, as Ricciardo has a better line. But yeah, Verstappen pretty unlucky to not be ahead of both me and Ricciardo, as he got the best start of anyone. So here's Julian Palmer's point of view. He's starting 11th or 12th, I believe, and Button actually gets an amazing start, and alongside Carlos Sainz. Palmer makes it 3 wide with my teammate Sainz and Jenson Button, and it's 3 wide into the centre S's, and unfortunately for him, Palmer gets forced out. The other decision gets a bit of a hit from behind. I think that was Perez behind who gave Palmer a little bit of a touch, and you can just see Sainz and Button are still side by side, and yeah, pretty close race in between my teammate and Jenson Button. And they slow each other up so much that Palmer's looking to take advantage. As Button's still got his wheel in, but and Sainz has to leave in the route, so they're still going side by side for a very narrow part of the track. And this is going to slow up so much that Julian Palmer might take advantage somehow, but it's Button just has a position over Sainz now. 10th place is his fighting over. Palmer looks to the inside of Sainz, but then Sainz has a better line, and unfortunately for him, Palmer has to sit behind for now. But onto lap 6, and I'm closing in on Nico Rosberg, set a fastest lap while we're at it. And with the DRS on, this track is so powerful. I could just, like, if you're within 1 second, then you can overtake it basically by into straight, whatever the distance is. So yeah, down towards turn 4, and this DRS is ridiculous. I get alongside Rosberg, got the inside, and actually I go wide because I had to brake too late, and Rosberg's going to look to keep up the inside. I leave him the space on the inside. Then there's contact made, and I'm in the wall, but somehow I've got no damage from that. And Rosberg has done a roadblock, and he's going to reverse out the way, and that's blocked Ricciardo and Vettel, I think that was, and Alonso and Raikkonen are coming out of nowhere, and they've actually taken the lead and the second place. So here on to lap 7, the very next lap. I'm still in third, but Raikkonen takes position for Alonso, and he takes the lead now, which is very surprising. I wouldn't have thought those two would be fighting for the lead a third of the way into this race. But on lap 11 now, I'm going to pit this lap. Alonso's already pitted because he was on soft tyres, but I'm going to try and undercut a few of the drivers. I think Rosberg's already pitted, and so has Ricciardo, so it's going to be very close between them because I might have been undercut myself. But onto the hard tyres, go long into this race. You can just see how many positions I'm losing already. Verstappen's the next car to pass, and there he goes. So Verstappen has got a big undercut on me. And there's the two Haas cars, Gutierrez and Grosjean, go past on the top left, and it's going to come out very, very close with them, but then they go past, Magnussen goes past, and there is Ricciardo actually, just alongside me, you can see over the wall, and Ricciardo just about undercuts me, but I'm still ahead of Nico Rosberg, who we had that unfortunate collision with, which I don't know whose fault it was, because unfortunately I couldn't get a replay, but we go for a massive lunge on Ricciardo at the end of my outlap, and take 14th place, I should say. But that was a bit aggressive. I apologise for that to Ricciardo, but yeah, it had to be done. And lap 14, one of the drivers in the pit lane, I'm not sure who that is. It's Rio Haryanto actually, who was running in the points surprisingly. But we have DRS on Magnussen, even though he's a long way ahead because I lost a lot of time making that dive bomb on Ricciardo. But lap 13 now, and I go really wide actually through the centre S's, and Ricciardo's going to probably get a run. But here's Sebastian Vettel coming out of the pit lane, and the undercut has just about worked. I'm still ahead, but Vettel almost managed the overcut there because he was behind me before the pit stops, and he came out a lot closer than he was. But now, onto the end lap 13, we've got DRS on Magnussen, but unfortunately he has DRS on the Haas cars as well up ahead. But my overspeed is ridiculous. I take the position relatively easily. Magnussen tries to come back but can't fight it at all. But now Grosjean and Gutierrez are going side by side through the S's. This is going to get tasty. I look to the outside, and that gap is always going to close. So I switch to the inside of the track. And now Magnussen's looking to get involved as well. There's about 7 cars, and you can throw a blanket over us, and I go up the inside of both Haas cars, and we're still side by side. Magnussen goes past them as well. And there's Ricciardo and Vettel side by side in the background. This is very, very close. And I managed to take both those positions, and then by the time everyone makes their second pit stop, or the first pit stop I should say, I'm in the lead, and Hamilton is behind, who's already made 2 stops, which just shows how dominant he is. I had to go quite a long way into this race, like 20 now, and Hamilton has already closed up the gap, and looks like he's going to try and overtake me quite soon. It's on his medium tyres. But yeah, Hamilton is obviously the world champion, who the last 2 races had engine failures, surprisingly, and he still managed to have like an 80-point lead, which is very well done to him. But I go around the outside, he forced me onto the curb a bit, but there's no point in fighting it as he's just much quicker than me. And at this point, but then lap 21, hopefully I can just leech off his DRS and pull myself away from Vettel, who is probably, we're racing Vettel more than we're racing Hamilton. Vettel is only about 2 seconds behind, or 3 seconds. I set the fastest lap as I've got the slipstream for the whole lap. Got the inside of Hamilton and take the position for the time being, but get a bad run through the S's, and Hamilton might have a chance of getting the position back into turn 4. And Vettel's only about 1.5 seconds behind this battle now, so he'll be looking to get involved and maybe even fight for the win. But Hamilton's going to go to the inside, get the inside line. I'm going to try and hold it around the outside, but I'm not sure how it's going to go because the past few times I've been forced onto the curb, and once again put 2 wheels on the curb, and that is first place once again lost to Hamilton, and now Vettel is right behind. So the very next lap, Vettel is going to go up the inside into turn 4. And he's not got much of the car alongside, but I still had to leave him the space. I ended up on the grass quite a lot because it was really narrow there, so in order to avoid contact that I had with Rosberg earlier, I drive off the track pretty much just to make sure Vettel doesn't make contact with me. And Vettel actually takes a position up into second place. I'm going to absolutely lunge it into turn 7, I think that was. And that was a pretty late move on Vettel, and take back second place for the time being. But now Hamilton has been able to use this battle to absolutely run away. It looks like he's going to quite easily win this race now, as we've all just got 1 stop to go. And Vettel, once again, goes at the inside of turn 4, takes position to second. But hopefully through the middle sector, I've been quite strong. I can take that position back from Vettel. So do a similar dive bomb to move to the one I did a few laps ago, or last lap I should say, I think it was. And Vettel is second place right now. I'm in third, but you can just see the exit I get there on these worn hard tyres. I'm going to switch it to the inside for the next corner, dive up the inside, and take second place quite easily, because my car for some reason just works so well in the middle sector compared to the AI. But now at lap 27, the very next lap, and Vettel once again uses DRS and just about drives past me, but I'm going to hold it on the outside. If I hold this off, it's been a very nice defensive move, but unfortunately Vettel has the inside line, and he takes second place back, and there is not much point fighting him as a, well, there might be actually, because I can hopefully just execute a similar dive bomb move as I have done on the past 2 occasions, but we'll have to wait and see. As just the exit of this corner hopefully is good, and yes it is. We're right on the back of Sebastian Vettel. It's like it's going to be a carbon copy of what happened last lap, and go back up the inside of Vettel, take the position, but he's actually going to hold it up around the outside this time, and just about hold it towards Young Cow now. And unfortunately Vettel has got a second place still, and I managed to lunge him, force him wide, and take the position back, and that is second place regained. And then on the next lap, I'm going to come into the pit lane. Vettel's going to have DRS, which won't be very helpful in my course to try and undercut him, and so he's going to get a little bit of boost there. But pitting onto soft tyres now, 8 laps to go, and or 7 laps to go I should say, if I can count. But Raikkonen's already gone past. Button's a long way back in 5th place, but he's still having a very strong showing for the McLaren Honda team. And yeah, it looks like a podium is on the cards here, because I'm battling Vettel and Raikkonen isn't too far behind, so I reckon it's going to be quite sure that I'm going to finish in top 4 unless something goes drastically wrong. But here's Vettel coming out of the pit lane, and he's actually overcut me, which is a big shame. Vettel has just about got a position back, but I've got an overspeed as he's just come out of the pit lane. I can go up the inside into turn 4, as he's done to me a few times. Takes 3rd place back as Raikkonen hasn't pitted yet. But now, until a few laps later, Vettel's going to come back at me, and Raikkonen has pitted now, and he's not too far behind. But we're side by side through turn 4 once again, and Sebastian Vettel just about holds the position for now. And on the end of the same lap, going to lap 32, I'm going to absolutely lunge it up the inside of turn 1. And Kimi Raikkonen is now in the pit lane. I think that is, I don't sleep in now, so correct myself. There was quite a lot of contact made with Vettel. We've both got quite bad exits, but I've got the slightly better exit, and that means I'm going to try and use a DRS to my advantage. Got the inside of turn 4. Hopefully this time I have the position before turn 4, which would be very helpful. And yes, I do. I force Vettel wide. Actually, I drive off the track myself, but Vettel is too far behind to take advantage. But now to lap 33, there's only 3 laps to go now. And Vettel once again is going for the outside of turn 4. We've overtaken each other about 10 times through this corner, I think. But this time Vettel's going to master it around the outside, and that was a very nice move by Sebastian Vettel on myself. And yeah, unfortunately he then ran away, but lap 36, final lap of the Grand Prix, and Raikkonen's now only 4 tenths behind as my tyres have gone off the edge of it. Hamilton has won the race, Sebastian Vettel has come second. I'm just about going to hold him to third from Kimi Raikkonen, but that is a good showing in the Brazilian Grand Prix.
There were questions at the start of the season as to whether this package could really go all the way, but there's no question anymore. What a special year it's been. And here they are now, the new Formula One World Drivers' Champion. And here are our podium drivers today after that excellent race. They've excelled here, as they so often do, and it's a well-deserved victory. Mercedes, then, are on top today.
So Lewis Hamilton wins the race from Sebastian Vettel, and a further 2 seconds back to myself and Raikkonen, who came very close to the final spot on the podium. Jenson Button with a very strong showing in 5th place, ahead of Valtteri Bottas and Nico Hülkenberg, who came up from 16th actually. Then Ricciardo and Rosberg, and I think someone else, I can't quite remember, rounds out the points. And Hamilton actually did some donuts there, but even though he won the race in America, he won the championship in America I should say, but very ironically the past 2 races he's had engine blowouts, which meant he couldn't do the donuts at the end of the race, so he does it now. But I'm still in 3rd place, but only about 4 points now off of Daniel Ricciardo, which is very good to see. And still, just the 2 Saubers haven't scored points yet. The Renaults have been scoring quite well lately, as Wehrlein got quite a lot of points earlier in the season, but now constructors are still in 4th place. The battle for 3rd, well, Ferrari have extended their lead over us in 3rd place right now. It's going to take something special to overcall that, I think, 30-point gap in Abu Dhabi So it looks like it's going to be off. It's Carlos Sainz actually needs a good result in Abu Dhabi if we're going to do anything, which hasn't happened too often this season. But now all of the career score and driver stuff and that. And that's going to be the end of this video then. And leave a like if you liked it, subscribe for more. I've been JM183, and I will see you next time.